Tough day at work today. I'm at the Villa d'Este in Lake Como in Italy at the Concorso d'Eleganza to see this, among other things. This is the new BMW M4 CSL. It's the most hardcore of the G80 chassis BMW M4, the G82 to be precise, and it's really based on the underlying M4 competition, but just amped up to a higher level. More power, less weight, a lot more exclusivity because they're only going to build 1,000 of the G82 CSL. The E46 M3 CSL, which was the last two-door BMW to wear this badge, there were 1,400, and BMW M was a much smaller company at the time. So considering how popular M cars are, particularly in Australia, it's going to be very difficult to get your hands on one of these. 21 was the original allocation for Australian buyers. That might go up a little bit, not confirmed yet, but it's a very exclusive car when it comes to price as well. It's double the price of a base M4 with a manual. This auto-only CSL is $303,900 before on-road costs, so certainly not cheap, but you're getting a ton of carbon fibre for your money. The bonnet, the roof, the boot, plus lots of decoration, including this very wide and aggressive front splitter. You'll also notice the grille, which has kind of red lipstick around it, really. You're not going to miss that. New BMW M, 50 years of M badge here on the front as well. The whole thing is wider, meaner, cooler, faster, quicker. This is BMW's fastest ever car with a number plate to go around the Nürburgring Nordschleife. As we move down the side of the M4 CSL, it really does make an impression. So we've got here Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 R tyres, staggered just like on a regular M4, 20 inches at the back, 19 at the front, 285 width at the back, 275 at the front. Tyre size is the same, but a much more aggressive tyre. And they're wrapping these dark grey forged wheels. You can see the carbon ceramic brakes behind them. Same carbon ceramics that are optional on the regular M4 actually. Moving further down the car, it's only available as the two-door coupe, only in an automatic, 405 kilowatts of power. So that's 40 more than the regular M4 competition. Same torque, 650 Newton meters, but 100 kilos down on an M4 comp. 1625 kilos is the curb weight, and that's actually relatively light now for a BMW because the G80 chassis is not a light car, but this is my favorite element of the CSL. It's the ducktail here. I mean, how cool is that? Evokes classic Porsche, evokes classic BMW. Suits the car really well, I reckon. Red CSL badging here, and very cool tail light graphics as well. Bigger pipes, of course, which are set to make a great noise. So arriving in the fourth quarter of 2022, the new M4 CSL in Australia, over 300 grand. I doubt you'll be able to get your hands on one easily though. If you do think you want one, you better be talking to your BMW dealer kind of yesterday. CSL stands for competition, sport, lightweight, and so the focus for the M4 CSL was cutting weight out of this thing, and that's important because we were a little bit surprised at the curb weight of the G80, G82, G83, M3s and M4s when they first came out, particularly if you have all-wheel drive, which this car doesn't have. This is rear-wheel drive, so that's a good start. But we're also missing back seats because the goal was to pull out at least 100 kilograms of weight from this car. In fact, BMW are now saying you can't be a CSL if you haven't pulled 100 kilos out. And that's the reduction that was achieved here for the 2023 M4 CSL. So the rear seats came out, that was 25 kilograms right there. And then a whole bunch of other savings, including with these front seats, which do have manual adjustment fore and aft, but they don't go up and the backrest doesn't move. So they're semi-fixed. You can change the height with tools like a race car, but for myself, at 6 foot, the driving position is correct how it's been set from factory here. Just need to come a little bit closer to the steering wheel, which has an Alcantara rim and a red notch at the 0 degree point. Lots of carbon fiber, plastic behind them, but it's kind of textured, so it feels pretty good. Other things that have been deleted, there's no Harman Kardon stereo, just a basic BMW hi-fi. Still sounds okay though. Normal BMW infotainment, but not the new curved display that the 4 Series and M4 will soon get, and non-CSL guys. But no storage tray in here, just open storage with all this carbon fiber trim. Still stuff like wireless phone charging though, and a leather-lined dash and door toppers, and of course fine leather on the seats. So like there's an element of the fact that BMW knows that while customers want a lighter car, they still want quite a few creature comforts. There was consideration to deleting the infotainment, that stayed. There was consideration for deleting the air conditioning, that has stayed. You can even option dual zone climate control and you can option comfort access, but as standard you get single zone and you have to use the key to unlock the car. A manual transmission was briefly considered in the development of the car, but BMW basically says most people want an automatic, and that's why this car has the 8-speed ZF torque converter auto and more power, because the 6-speed manual can't actually deal with as much power as this car is running. But otherwise, it's standard M4 in here, but with a more serious seat, good view out of the car, all the technology is going to work just like it does as normal in a BMW with iDrive and all of that sort of thing. So it feels pretty cool and fairly normal in here. So that is the 2023 M4 CSL. If you're a CSL buff, if you're a two-door BMW M car buff, you're going to want to get an order in on this thing. I mean, it's way lighter than the M4 competition. You're going to feel the 100 kegs. That interior is so extreme, no back seats. Hard to see how this isn't going to be a future classic. And it'll be interesting how we reflect on this design in 25 years' time, 20 years' time. Because we look back on the E46 CSL and we think, wow, that was pretty much perfect, if only it also came with a factory manual. But this one's got a really decent automatic transmission, so hard to see how that'll hold it back. Anyway, those are my musings. Keen to know your thoughts. Drop them down below in the comments. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and as always, thank you for watching Chasing Cars.